started in 1987. In 1987, I decided to close up my graphic arts company in New York City, in Manhattan, and move to this small alpine town, the highest in Italy, northern Italy, Chamois. To get there, you go down the Aosta Valley and go into the Val Tournanche, turning up towards the mountain of Cervinia. And about 20 minutes drive south of the Swiss-Italian border, you take a gondola, which takes you up to Chamois. When you're at Chamois, you're not at the place where I live. From there, since there are no cars, you have to walk around the mountain pass for half an hour until you get to the place where I live. When I moved there, I doubled the population to 2. And so this was a real adventure from Manhattan. When I got there, there were no telephone lines. There's still no telephone lines. Luckily, there was electricity. After about 4 years of no telephone, I finally discovered that there was a new thing out called cell phones. I immediately went out and got the most powerful cell phone that I could lay my hands on, obviously, and connected it. And it was not the greatest thing because it was one of the first ones. And what happened was when the phone rang, you had to grab your ski jacket and run out into the middle of the cow pasture and stand like the Statue of Liberty with your phone in the air and try to get a connection that you could talk to, looking rather stupid, I might add. After years that went by, I finally found stronger cell phones, and then I got tempted to get into the 20th century and get a computer and connect it to my cell phone, which was the only way I could do it. This made things a little bit easier, but I still had to go out onto my terrace, which was awash with snow most of the year, and freeze to death while I was using my computer and my cell phone. And this went on for a number of years, and the connection was terribly poor, and I finally met somebody in Chamois, a half-an-hour walk away, who was a computer guru, and his name, prophetically enough, was Hermes, the winged messenger. And Hermes helped me because he had a landline phone. And I, twice a week, would go to Hermes' house, and I would load and unload my messages from my computer. And this went on for another year until this summer, when Hermes showed up at my doorstep and said, "I've got a surprise for you." He showed up with Sergio, who was here, who was a representative of Wi-Fi. And they had been talking to the mayor and everybody in the village and trying to establish this wireless communication network, which I never thought would ever come up to my little community. But it did. And in fact, a week later, not even a week later, on the top of one of my houses, they placed a very small antenna. And since the place is supervised by the Fine Arts Committee to make sure that all the houses stay looking the way they did when they were built, it was very important to all of us that the antenna was small and unobtrusive, but very potent. And this has certainly changed my life and the lives of everybody that lives in this small community. It means that people can come from Milan and take their work with them and connect with no problem whatsoever. So I am eternally grateful to Sergio and to Wi-Fi for what they have done for my community. Thank you. I think that there's a phone that will connect with a computer that will also work. I'm waiting for that in great anticipation. Any other questions?
The Skype service, the voice over IP service, is it operating over a satellite link?
Yes.
Yes.
So how do you find the delay on that?
Well, at the moment, I have a little bit of a delay. It's sort of like when you're looking at CNN and someone's talking in Iraq and it's just a few minutes later and they act sort of dumb. But evidently, in a few months, that should be corrected too.
They're going to go to some kind of landline service, I take it?
I think they're going to correct it in a few months, and I'm not sure technically how they're going to do that.
Okay, thanks.
That's it. Jane, thank you very much. It's a great story.
Thank you.
thank you very much. I want to thank all the panelists for the excellent presentations that they delivered today. And I guess that we're going to be talking about lunch, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Well,
All right. Thank you very much to all the wonderful panelists, and thank you very much for a wonderful story as well. So lunch is going to be actually served in the Grand Ballroom. There will be 2 different lines it's a buffet lunch that's actually served. So 2 different lines that you can get into. Hopefully they'll